Ebabede ho enkomo. But Mamin Konamene, the executive director at the Parliamentary Network Africa, Samuel Obe any enkomo. Samuel, good morning, as you saying.
Good morning.
Maybe I find there.
About that, Mama, here.
Very well. Yeah, that's really important. Now, we all came to terms with DSC last week at the appointment committee during the vetting of a year the ministerial nominees. Now, the aftermath of it, a name in Timmy Wansi by almost said the money in Iriano. Speaker has suspended 4 of them who were partly involved with their course in the concerns are that the speaker is not founded in law. Mame Entio, Mona Modi Parliament and Shisha and in the Juma way actually for a very long time. Some of these states, when it happens, quite many as I see a difference.
Suspension of 4 MPs, no, just one out of a good number of decisions that Speaker communicate here and our rulings that Speaker communicate here on that day. And for me, my emphasis really is not on just one out of many decisions, but on the collective, the Speaker here, the effect of the Speaker here on building back the confidence that Parliament will lose.
Okay.
First of all, Speaker Simate Committee, 7-member committee, Munko Shim, Namunche Ubia Odifo, and answer Ubia and Humpas our video. Now, Munya the necessary recommendations. That then because privileges and immunities committee are and can say a so Parliament in say and not yet. By Parliament rules, no more ad hoc committees on between set up in instances like that. Number 1. Number 2, Speaker, what says Ghana for Nyoma? Mabunkunya any tables. What say microphones here? Ghana poor taxpayers to come back 160 every year is annual man. Clark say Nebo, now make sure say one more different in your better free almost salaries. Number 3. Clark, Konako catch the police say, because the FC, criminal components between your the police in your official investigation, no mun take it up matter. I think so, committee, appointments committee, because say, Nipa, no more committee, so I hear whips, you suspend your money,
Yes.
Montana Mori composite committee, I don't know, just a change the committee now. But someone has suspended your money. You better need the papa flow is on one name. And the ordinance on the say, and say Parliament and Casa share almost standing orders. Now, you may be appointment committee need, since every woman is almost me. Now, making sure they're going forward, and some intimacy because they are appointment committee meeting over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
And we've seen some of the things that have not gone too well. It's almost are very progressive issues. The Parliament is not so much to a bit suspension matter, no, in my opinion, no, just one out of my 6. Mr. Speaker, at the 2. Now, young suspension matter, no, so specifically. Then suspension matter, no. Our Parliament and Remuno. Certain air coso. Not Mr. Speaker, who will be did me a bone someone. Rules no stress, obey to me. Actually, the panel say, freedom. I mean, with you walking the panel out for the rest of that 16 days. No?
Okay.
Right? Number 2, say, Niamon, some not me coso even more. Speaker to me, one who to obey suspension. Suspension, almost any orders in my limits. After say, Niamon, some no cost to the extent to say, after the local privileges committee. That privileges committee do for. I don't know. Suspension took us for in that first time almost to 1 week. Balance, no?
Yes.
4 to 10 days is equivalent to about a week. We are for the second time one. 2 weeks. And then it goes on and on and on and on. And the first point I want to establish is standing orders maho kwai Emma speaker as some forms of punishment. As to whether punishment yeah what they may excessive and I say abroad the normal punishment remember the work school as we late 2 lashes and then the late maybe ana teacher go fudodo into your mouth 18 lashes. Yes, so one can say over complaining. And in most instances, especially in this parliamentary case, no, there are laid down rules as a grievance about speaker decisions that we take here. Ube take me appeal. Ebini say ube by way of a substantive motion. Say Mr. Speaker, may file a motion as minority and as majority. File a motion say asamuna audible to Jano, you know, and yajin. Then it will go through the process. You will vote on the matter. The parliament decided to rescind this decision. They are rescinded. But I think that it's important to note that whereas we are raising legality matters, no, and some members of parliament who say they cannot continue to raise legality matters so much to overshadow because when they keep doing that, they are insulting the intelligence of the Ghanaian people. TV. You members of parliament to be a whole lobby. Now one more coup. Na ye bubu nkonya na smash microphone. O say in the friend say in natural justice. As I say, ye fro. Ye bisa say aso wona ojina hoyi. Aso wona wo holy nipa no. Aso wona wo bubu table no. Yes, we are expected to be given a hearing, but there are interim measures that they should take to make sure say number one, it will forestall confidence. Ghana for last week. Because Nyomasa Akoko Koso over the years that Obia and can want them. It is essentially side more. Na parliament, no reputation until there was a need for some substantive things to be done. By all means, in a democracy, they have every right to appeal to these matters through either parliament and other whichever platform, even including the court. But while they do that, I think that it's important that members of parliament very Ghana for. I'm more waiting who say to my idea show Muntano. They are show Munta because I'm more representing. So who are me MP? Now me queen. And so who are call representing the work of Kuna Magusa? The mommy. And you must be able to take responsibility for that. And I think that it is in the spirit of that responsibility. And Nyoma SEC in the past, the Brununti and a speaker, course, so and for me, we need to commend him. Of course, by all means, the areas are called excessive, no?
Yeah.
The systems must correct that. But we must not condemn the entire process.
Excessive, no, which aspect? Because...
Well, I do not see any excessive, personally. But members of parliament, they raise the minority caucus, almost a statement, almost the app, actually, must say, Adentina, minority for me and majority me, but accompany a punish here, Adentina, yam more hearing. In fact, almost describing your man almost saying no parliament as minor property damages. Minor. It goes to the mindset of how they see some of these things as members of parliament. And I think it is very, very insulting.
Very well. But I mean, in right perspective, the speaker might not have erred, right? In terms of parliamentary standing and procedures.
The speaker may have exerted more sanctions than would have been allowable. May is the word I use. But for me, honestly, in this particular instance, I think we all need to rally behind the speaker to be able to take some of these very bold decisions. To the extent that he's not being partisan about it. To the extent that he's not burying the interest of the country at the expense of Onwani egos and we must support him. And yes, sir, your parliament is a bit degenerated. You see Kenya very recently, to the extent that Mebunu did not respect parliament, and they were so upset with parliament, said they didn't trust that parliament can do the job. So they needed to storm parliament themselves. We saw what happened. And Yan Shetni and Salviji parliament, some of these things have the potential of happening. Yamin Pengu.
Very well. Nyame Mpengu. And we'll look forward to seeing the aftermath of it. The free mwaba any engagement a minority, ACK say wamobetimi enya hearing with the speaker. But I mean, Obia want the right, and the rules of natural justice will require say ubetie obia no masem and sign our professor a year any sanctions against the person. Now, should it happen, say, I mean, minority, are able to justify their cause, the speaker will have to come back on his ruling, right?
Well, if they come by way of a substantive motion, now the two now decided that there be a speaker here, 1 year, but it must be rescinded. That's their own decision, and we'll be here. We'll watch it.
Very well, very well. But a quick one before you go. Appointment committee, Juma Womoye. Oh, you're satisfied, Anna?
Baby, when you're satisfied,
I didn't hear.
when you're satisfied because your mother could be assisted during the course of appointment committee, including in your home MPC last week Thursday, were very avoidable. The who appointment committees in the past. In fact, it is true that this is the first time, the first major appointment committee event in our new standing orders now, and not for a different kind of composition, right? But this is a committee of leaders. This is one of the very few committees for Parliament and run it say, members of the committee, so we are leaders of Parliament. But one are leaders. It is a committee of leaders in Bonia. You can imagine what would happen in committees that do not have majority of their members being leaders. And a major worry, And I think it's a committee name, and they must be doing a lot of self-introspection as a committee. When every day, we review the next day they must seek to improve, continuous improvement. When we see that they are improving continuously, we may forget about the ills of the past because we prefer to say a new parliament, new committee. They were learning the ropes. But if every single new day, Nanyoma Air is getting even worse, then we will have cause to be worried.
Very well. Sammy, I'm grateful for your time, Adopay. Mamina was. And that is the Executive Director for Parliamentary Network Africa, Samuel Obeng, speaking to us.